Hello viewers, welcome to this drawing masterclass where we shall continue to learn how to shade shapes and forms. Let's have a recap of how much we have learned so far. In our last lesson, we learned about shading, and we defined shading as the lightening or darkening of a surface by using a tool like a pencil or a pen to create value, such that areas of the form that will be receiving light will be having a highlighted area, while areas which are not receiving light will be darkened, and the object may even cast a shadow. We also said that shading creates some illusion of three-dimensional effects. That's what we did. We saw that when you have a circle, it is a 2D shape. You can create this circle and create a three-dimensional effect on the circle such that it will no longer be a shape, it will no longer be a circle, it will be a sphere. That is why we use the technique of shading called blending this shape into a form called sphere. If you look at this sphere now, it has a three-dimensional effect. It looks round. It also, let's have we zoom a bit, we see how it looks. It looks round. It looks like it has some highlight here. Light is striking this surface of the object, and the areas which are not receiving light are dark. You can even see that there is a cast shadow. This cast shadow is also making the sphere to belong to the surface the sphere is placed on. If you look at this circle, the circle is floating on this space. But when you put a cast shadow, you make the object to belong to the surface. You can now see that this sphere it looks round, it has something called insideness, outsideness, it has roundness, it has volume, and there is even, when we shade the background a bit, you see some space, there is some depth, there is some area behind this sphere. But this is what is called three-dimensional effect. It's an effect. It is not a reality. You cannot walk around this sphere the way you can walk around a ball. No. This is called three-dimensional effect. We shall continue with the same shading technique called blending. There are some other shading techniques. For example, we have learned about blending shading technique. In our next lesson, we shall learn about hatching. It's another shading technique. And then we shall also learn about stippling, another shading technique. In our today's lesson, we shall transform an oval into a cylinder by shading it using blending technique. Blending shading technique. We shall now start creating three-dimensionality on these ovals. You can see this oval. There's another oval there, and there is another oval here. Now let's start. We have this circle, and we have this oval here, and we have this small oval there. Let's start with this. We give it a third dimension. It has length and width. Now we give it something called either height, you can call it height, or you can call it depth. Concerning this cylinder, now it is a cylinder. You can call it a cylinder, but it is lacking value. We shall shade this cylinder to create value. And we can imagine that light is coming from this direction. Let light come from this direction. So now we have to create a highlight on this side of the cylinder. Light will not be striking on this part. It will be striking here. So we shade this area. This area will be in the shade. It will be in the shade. There will be a shadow on the inside of this cylinder. And you can see that my pencils are well sharpened. Yeah. Do we blend? I don't know whether we can. Will it create an effect when you try to blend the shades? Okay. We darken here a lot. Sometimes when you are shading, the table may have some textures. And place the paper on a smooth glass surface, because I want the shade to be very small. I don't want the shading to capture the texture of the table. Okay. Now there will be a lot of dark. It will be very dark on this side of the cylinder. So let us darken this side. I shade along the body of the cylinder. this circle here. So convert this circle also into a cylinder. we have okay, this. Okay, that is the cylinder. How about this? There's another over here we have to convert into a cylinder, a small cylinder. The same technique, the same source of light. It is coming from this direction. Now, what we do next is these are a circle that has been converted into a cylinder. Another oval, an oval has been converted into a cylinder. Another oval. Now we want to connect these forms onto the surface or the background. So we have to remove lines. The first line that we shall remove is this one. We have to remove this line. It cannot be there. We have to remove it. I'm now removing this line. So to remove this line is to pull it. So that the cylinder starts out from the background. We pull this line. And we create a shadow there. Create a shadow for this cup. So now this line has to be pulled. It is not a line, but a boundary between two planes. I'm creating a background for these forms. We can put the edge of the floor there. You can put another edge of a wall, the wall can start from there. We continue with this wall. It can appear somewhere there. It's like a room, the inside of a room. This line here, we have to pull this line. We cannot allow it to remain there. There can be a shadow here. Then you can also put some shadow here. This cylinder can cast a shadow. This can also cast some shadow. And then the shadow can go up depending on okay. We make sure that we don't allow lines to remain. We pull lines. So now we have created the shadow can also come appear that way, very dark here. This is the work that we have done so far. We have converted cylinders, ovals into cylinders. And so far so good. We can zoom in a bit. We see what we have done. And that brings us to the close of this lesson. I wish that you continue practicing this skill of blending shading technique to transform shapes into forms, and the forms should be having a three-dimensional effect. In our next lesson, we shall learn about hatching shading technique. If you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe, and YouTube will be notifying you of our new videos when we publish them. Let's meet in the next video. Bye for now.